So let's start talking about shape of the pond. Now we've chosen the position, now we've got to think about the shape of the pond. What you've got to do is you've got to go for a very simple shape, whether it's a square, rectangle or a curved, irregular pond. You don't want to go for an overcomplicated sort of like a jigsaw puzzle, because then that's going to be an absolute nightmare from construction costs and also circulation. So another thing to think about is circulation, filtration. You've got to think about how the water's going to get around and circulate every nook and cranny, if you like. So you've got to think about the filtration. You've got to make sure that water's distributed even, otherwise you're going to have dead spots and you're going to have a maintenance nightmare with algae and all sorts of pathogens and diseases. Another thing to think about is access around the pond. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a shape that stops access to somewhere else, so you can't get over or without going over a pond. So you've got to think about the shape and make sure that you've got access around it, or you can basically maintain a hedge or whatever you need to do. So you've got to think about the shape from the access. Also, you've got to think about the shape, you've got to think about the plants. If you're going to have a pond, you're going to have plants in there, so you've got to think about the planting shelves. So that's all part of the shape. So basically what we do is when we're considering a shape, we actually make it very, very simple, and then we make it the shape with the plants. So making plant shelves and everything, that's a great way to shape a pond.